All right, welcome to the Bulldog Bark. I'm yours truly, the Guru. With me, I got BFC and Kyle, the Butler fan. But we got a special guest today, folks. Real special guest, the 100% three-point sniper himself, Ethan McComb. Ethan, how's it going, man?
Uh, Thanks for having me.
Good, yeah, good. Glad to have you on, man. So this episode is gonna be a little bit different for all of our viewers. Usually we do a little recap of last game. By the way, last game, Dogs took down Mighty DePaul, 74-60. Nice, easy little win. Good to get a little W in the column. And next up is Georgetown on Tuesday. And then we got Villanova on Saturday, just released. I don't know if you guys saw that. It is a checker game, which is pretty cool.
That should be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. So make sure to check the tweet, see your section, and see what color you're supposed to wear. I believe it's either blue or white. So, but yeah, this episode's gonna be a little different. We're just gonna talk to Ethan, get a little update on how everything's going. So again, it's not gonna be really much of a recap or a preview like our usual episodes. But all right, Ethan. First of all, again, man, appreciate you hopping on, talking to us a little bit. First of all, freshman year, talk to us. How's the transition been from high school to now your first season as a Butler Bulldog?
It's been great, honestly. Like for me personally, coming here was special for me, and it really has lived up to it. I think, like you said, we'll talk about like the ups and downs comes with every season, but just being able to put on the jersey, go out there, and then practice every day, and then when my number's called, go out there and play. It's been really, really special. So I've loved every second of it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Has there been anything maybe that you either didn't, it's kind of a surprise, you didn't expect it, or was just something that was a little different than I know we talked before the season started. Anything different from what your expectations were coming in this year?
I would just say like the speed of the game. I mean, obviously you're like, going from any level, going up in any level, everyone's going to be faster and stronger, but it's so different when you're out there. Like it's hard to describe. Even in practice and games, it's just everyone's that much faster, and you really have to think, especially with someone that is more athletic than you or whatever. You got to think faster than them, which is something I think I've done a decent job of, at least hold my own. So,
do you get to go against Posh in practices? Is that your usual assignment?
mainly as DJ or DJ.
DJ, okay.
Every single day I'm guarding DJ,
How's
which is
that? How's that?
It's tough, very tough. When he gets cooking, as you guys have seen, it's very hard to stop. But I mean, he hadn't dropped me or anything like that. So he'll probably drop me actually right after I say this. But
Right.
no, he's tough to guard. And then obviously we switch a lot, so I really go up against everybody, but my initial assignment's DJ. So
Yeah, guys, do you have anything you want to build off of that?
I mean, like, as far as the game ramping up speed and physicality wise, was that something like you noticed immediately, like really first couple practices with the guys? Obviously, not going against the other competition, but like just practices against the rest of the team, like obviously coming from your high school season last year and all that. Was it just like immediate, like first couple practices, it was like, oh my God, these guys are just a different level to the people that, everyone in high school, even if there were a couple, really good players, everybody's at that level now. Was it like the first couple days, or was it like a gradual thing that you realized it?
yeah, I mean, just you step on the court and you're like, wow, they're huge, and then they're coming at you. You gotta you feel it right away for sure. But like I said, I've adjusted to it, and every day I feel like I'm getting more accustomed to it, and it seems like normal now, honestly. But yeah, first couple practices over the summer, it wasn't like rough or anything, but I'm just saying it's different for sure. So
Yeah.
Yeah, is it different kind of going in from being a starter in high school, being like, one of the main options, to adapting into more of a scout role? Do you try to like, I don't know, mimic some of the guys that they're going against? Like, if we're going against Tick Gaines at Providence or some of the other shooting guards, do you try to kind of watch some film and mimic what they're doing?
yeah, that's actually exactly what we do. Me and Artemios especially, we're usually the two best guards on the other team, like when we do scout team stuff. So when it's UConn, I was Cam Spencer and people like that. I can't think of the others off the top of my head, but any leading scorer and stuff I do. Yeah, we have to watch the film and um, just try our best to play like them, even though it's hard to mimic. But running off screens, running all their actions, and just giving our guys the best look they can get. And most games, I would say, like Jaden Epps, first time we played Georgetown, I was Epps, and I thought we did a really great job on him. And so we'll see. Hopefully, we do the same Tuesday, but just preparing them, I guess, is the role.
Just for context for everybody, I wasn't joking when I said in the beginning, Ethan is shooting 100% on the season. Actually, his career, because he's a freshman from 3-point. So when he says that he is mimicking Cam Spencer, he's actually better. Cam Spencer shoots like 45%. Ethan shoots 100%. So he does a great job doing that for our team. Don't let anyone fool you. No, it's awesome, man. So far, we're well into the season now. We've already gotten kind of non-conference out of the way, gotten a good chunk of conference. What's maybe been your favorite memory to this point? I'm sure there's gonna be many more great ones. But so far, what's been maybe your favorite memory as a Butler Bulldog?
I would say I have two that are tied. One's a personal one, and obviously just hitting the first three, because I don't want to say it was like a feeling of relief, but it was just like see the ball go in. And it's really, growing up a Butler fan, every kid that goes to those games wants to play on that floor. And hitting that shot, especially with it being my first one, I was like, it just felt amazing. I don't know how else to put it. But then, no doubt, winning at Marquette was awesome. Like, awesome. That place went from super loud at the beginning. And then Thad actually talks about one of his favorite parts about winning on the road is at the end of the game when you're dribbling out the clock and you can hear the ball bouncing because the opposing team's crowd is so quiet. And it happened. It was awesome. So it felt great.
It felt great for us too, man. I'm not gonna lie, I loved it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Guys, you got anything you want to say to that?
Yeah, kind of going into that, it seems like the team, is super connected on and off the court. Like, especially in that Marquette game when Landon and Finley came in and hit big shots, like the starters on the bench getting just as hype as like, you and Bowden and Finley when you guys are on the bench. What has kind of gone into that, like creating that camaraderie?
Just knowing that we can all rely on each other, and obviously going against each other every day in practice. We know what everyone brings to the table. Everyone has respect for each other and like their specific games and stuff like that. And anytime, say, Finley goes in, shoots it, everyone on the bench standing up because they think it's going in. There's never a time when someone's like, oh, I don't think it's going in. But if anyone puts it up, everyone has confidence that it's going in. So no matter who's on the floor, like you said, that game happened to be that Finley and Landon hitting shots, everyone on the bench still upbeat. And if Butler's scoring, that's all that matters. So
yeah, building off of that a little bit, obviously I thought you guys did a phenomenal job in non-conference. I mean, really couldn't ask for much better with 9-2. So I mean, it was just a great non-conference. Obviously the Big East is a whole different animal, right? A lot of tough teams you play. 3-5 start, not bad at all. We're still well in the thick of things. But how's the team kind of stuck together with a little bit of adversity going on right now with just, winning stuff, especially these close ones, right? We had the Providence game, which was just a heartbreaker. Even the UConn game and the Seton Hall game were both, 1-point games with right down the stretch. How is the team kind of stuck together even with a few of these losses?
Yeah, like you said, those ones were very close games. So those are the toughest ones to lose, especially when you're right there. Coach always talks about how close we are to turning that corner and stuff. And it's just like make a couple more winning plays, a couple more possessions. Every possession matters, that type of thing. But yeah, like staying together, I can genuinely say we're all just as connected as ever, even when we were blowing teams out at the beginning of the year. But like losing at Providence, that one hurt, and then the Seton Hall one because you got to defend home court and stuff like that. But we all know we can beat anybody because we proved it when we went up to Marquette, even on the road. So we view every game the same. We're going to go out there and play our hardest, but I think we're going to be just fine, honestly. So
yeah, off of that, I'd say like what is Um, Obviously we talked about just then like the difference between like the beginning of the schedule and the non-conference. Have you noticed like any differences in like Big East play, whether that be the play itself, whether that be, schedule, like practicing for it, the atmospheres of the teams you're going up against. Obviously, I was at a couple of those games and they were just great atmospheres and like even like away games. What have you noticed really like in these first 8 games of Big East play comparatively to the non-conference schedule?
Well, especially in the current state of college basketball with the metrics and everything, every game matters. So even at the beginning of the year, it technically matters just as much as the end. But in conference play, I'd say the biggest difference is just everyone's level of focus. Not only just our program, but everybody else. All the other teams I feel like are so locked into scout stuff, and everyone knows exactly what the other team wants to do. I feel like, but yeah, the atmosphere and stuff is crazy everywhere you go. Basically, everywhere you go in the Big East is rocking in there. Hinkle's still definitely the best, at least that I've seen. But
It should be pretty crazy on Saturday. I gotta say, the Nova
yes,
games are always wild.
yeah. But no, the atmospheres are crazy and everyone just wants to win. And like Guru mentioned, the conference is so deep and so tough. And we're, like he said, we're right in the thick of things. Everyone's kind of log jammed with similar records. And like I think UConn won on the road by 1 last night. And you saw DePaul. DePaul can hang in there with anybody. And then once teams start rolling, but it changes and stuff sometimes. But I mean, anyone can go down on any given night. So I think that's the coolest part about playing in a conference like this.
I'm going to go off kind of the environment in Hinkle that you were talking about. I know DJ and Jamil were both talking about how it's at that first game against Texas Tech, kind of once we got past, some of the lower non-con games, I said was the best environment they played in. Were you
Mhm.
kind of like telling these guys before those games kind of started, like about the Hinkle environment, like what to expect?
Yeah, I mean, especially Finley and Bowden, because I room with them. We talked about it, but yeah, those guys, a lot of them have never seen environments like that coming from the schools they used to play at. I know Pierre probably has up at Michigan State. He's seen some crazy environments, but yeah, they ate up that Texas Tech game. They loved it. Like Posh, that was the most like transparent I've ever seen him be with like the fan base and stuff whenever he was talking about it. Like he loved it. In the locker room, he was so excited. But yeah, it's really cool and it's super special for sure.
I'd say like so obviously with the 2 games coming up, coming off a win, like is there any way like that the team like not specifically, but like how hard is it? And you said you mentioned the focus. Has it been easy or difficult for like you personally and the team to like just I got to imagine like coming off a win, like how much you prepare for each of these teams. The fact that every team in the Big East, including Butler, just goes out and plays with 100% effort every night. Like, how difficult is that to like just keep your mind on the next thing? Because you go and you get a 15-point win yesterday, and then all of a sudden, oh, in 2 days you got to go to DC and play again. So like, what's it like keeping that focus?
Just knowing that there's no nights off. And like you said, we prepare so much for every team, no matter who it is. And so if you're not prepared and you're not taking a team seriously, you could get embarrassed. And we all know that. And I think it's just a sense of pride and yeah, just making sure we're locked in and focused because the coaches really do a great job of preparing us. They work harder than any staff I've been around and just really getting us prepared as best as we can. It's all about us just going out and executing game plan.
When you guys are preparing for DePaul, do you guys also just knowing that the Georgetown game is only a few days away? Do you guys run some stuff focus on Georgetown at all, or do you guys just strictly focus on DePaul until you move on to the next game?
No, like honestly, it was just DePaul. We prepared the same exact way we always do. Focused on their personnel and their personnel only. And I think a thing to bring up too is Coach Mata has talked a lot about after the Marquette game, and then also yesterday after we won against DePaul, that you can never feel good in this conference. You can never feel good about yourself because once you get complacent even for a second, there's someone coming right after you the next game. and they're just as good, if not better, than whoever you just beat. So I think that's a really important thing. And I think after learning how to respond after that Marquette game, I think we're going to be better after this DePaul win.
Yeah, I mean, you guys got again. I'm an optimistic man, so I feel like let's go to Georgetown, let's take care of business. Villanova at home, let's take care of business. Could be looking at 5-5 going to the back half of the Big East. Guys, unless BFC, Kyle, do you have anything else you want to ask Ethan right now?
No,
Yeah.
that's about it. Thanks for coming on, Ethan. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So again, Ethan, really appreciate it. Like Kyle just said, really appreciate you coming on, giving us a little insight into the Butler program. Super excited for the back half of the Big East here, man. I know you guys got a couple big games coming up. Excited for it, and best of luck to you the rest of the year.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. It was fun.